Hello Fantasy Faithfuls and welcome to Season 2, Episode 20 of CSD Head-2-Head. Today I'm looking at Zach Ertz and George Kittle.
12.
Zach Ertz out wide, one-on-one.
Clement flares out to the right, caught over the middle and into the end zone. Zach Ertz.
Starting off, we're breaking down the receiving of Zach Ertz. Ertz relies heavily on passes thrown shorter than 15 yards from the line of scrimmage, seeing very limited targets beyond that. This can be a very good thing if his catch rate and yards per catch match up with this, or it could be limiting his actual ability. #foreshadowing. When we look closer into his catch rate, we notice that he's a beast when it comes to pulling down deep throws. Comparing him to someone like Travis Kelce, and it is night and day. And I will of course compare him to Kittle too, but I want you to know just how good he is at catching the ball all over the field. His touchdown rate over the last 2 years is 5.7. This is just short of the 2017 league average of 6.1%, but he sees a ton of targets, so nothing too much to worry about. With his yards per catch, I get a little concerned. He is so good at catching deep balls, but with limited opportunity and limited yards per catch. We don't have the best of combos, but with the short passes over the middle being so great, there's nothing too major to be concerned about.
Good time for Bucket. And caught by Kittle at the 1. He had a couple there, including...
Now let's take a look at George Kittle. Kittle sees, in comparison to Ertz, more deep targets on average. Sure, the difference is not huge, but it gives him at least 2 to 4 more targets per year to make a big play, which adds up for tight ends. With the short targets, there's no clear favorite side, all pretty equal in the targeting. This is where we really start seeing differences between the two players. Ertz is so much better at catching deep targets than Kittle. Kittle will on average catch 43% of his deep targets, while Ertz will catch 79%, so that's huge. The short yardage zone catch are pretty even. Kittle's touchdown rate over the last 2 years has been 4%, so not too good, and clearly below Ertz's 5.7. Ertz has better hands and scores more touchdowns. However, Kittle gains so many more yards per catch than Ertz that he can just rack up yards instead of relying on touchdowns. His worst short zone is leveled with Ertz's best short zone, and his deep zone is not even a contest. Kittle is so much better.
Bunch 3 receivers to the left. Foles goes to the right, and it is Ertz touchdown.
Now let's have a look at how they perform in some different situations. Their scoring patterns differ, even if they have some similarities. Ertz tends to score more fantasy points when the Eagles are playing at home, while Kittle is more of a threat on the road. Both of them score more points when they are playing outdoors compared to in domes, and Ertz's disparity is huge here, being way worse indoors. Both players score more fantasy points when they are playing against teams with a winning record, so not the best situation for either of them this week. And looking at their best situations, we have Ertz's best situation is playing outdoors versus an above 500 record team, preferably at home, while Kittle's best situation is playing outdoor on the road versus an above 500 record team.
Here they come. It is Kittle, and did he get to the end zone? He got it in for a touchdown!
Looking at their opponents in Week 10, we got the Dallas Cowboys for Ertz and New York Giants for Kittle. Ertz doesn't match the Cowboys well at all. The only zones that the Cowboys actually have issues in defending tight ends is to the short left and the deep left, zones Ertz doesn't excel in. The only zone that will be good for Ertz is the short middle, and that is all thanks to his own ability. While the Giants fit Kittle much better, their worst zones against tight ends is over the middle, both short and deep, while also being weak to the short right. The only one of Kittle's best zones they cover well is the deep right. The Cowboys give up 6 points per game to tight ends, and the Giants give up 6.1, so two teams that do really well against tight ends in general. Looking closer at their schedule, Ertz has an extremely difficult schedule moving forward. He's playing the Dallas Cowboys again and the Saints, who limits opposing tight ends to only 5 points per game, while Kittle has a bye week, which is not ideal, but he plays the Bucs and the Broncos, teams that give up a lot of points to tight ends, which should give you at least 2 possibly great games in the final stretch. And comparing their numbers for Week 10, we see that there's not much difference between the two, with Kittle having a higher ceiling by a few points over Ertz, but still not much between them, as I said, as Ertz snag a win with a higher floor with 6.7 versus 4.0 for Kittle. Their risk factors are also extremely close, even if Ertz has a slightly higher one, but the difference is still too close to be a major factor. So for week 10, I have Ertz projected to score 9.2 fantasy points and Kittle 9.0. We gotta go to the pros and cons before making a decisions on these two. So for Ertz, his pros are that his catch rate is amazing, and with higher amounts of predicted targets, it looks good with his game situation. However, his receiving trends do not feel too well against the Cowboys and he lacks yards per catch. For Kittle, his pros are a great fit against the Giants defense with massive yards per catch and his targeting matching where he's most productive. He does, however, not have the best game situations playing at home versus a bad team. In conclusion, my pick after comparing all the factors such as passing breakdown, opponents, trends, is George Kittle. What gives Kittle the edge this week is an extremely bad fit for Ertz against the Cowboys. They have been great in limiting tight ends all year, and especially tight ends that make their living in the same zones at Ertz. Going forward, I also prefer Kittle as Ertz has the most difficult schedule for any tight end in the league, even with Kittle's bye week. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more weekly content. And as always, the spreadsheets are dark and full of terror. Hello Fantasy Faithful, I hope you enjoyed that video. Don't forget to check out more of them right here and here. In case you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss a beat.